So today we're heading up the sacred slopes of Mount Agung in Bali. We're going to explore Pura Besakih, a place that's just bursting with spiritual power, an incredible story of survival, and yeah, some pretty big modern-day challenges. Just imagine this for a second. A holy sanctuary, perched right on the side of an active volcano. A place so sacred that when that mountain finally erupted with unbelievable force, the lava flows, they just miraculously parted around it. Well, that place is real. It's Pura Besakih, a temple that stared down nature's absolute fury, but now has to face the complexities of our modern world. So what exactly is Pura Besakih? Well, to put it simply, it's kind of everything to Balinese Hinduism. They call it the Mother Temple. It's the absolute spiritual center for the whole island, this huge, sprawling complex that's been the focal point of worship for centuries. To really get what Besakih is all about, we have to start with its location. I mean, where it is isn't just a coincidence, it's the whole point. We're about to begin our ascent into a place where the Balinese people believe heaven and earth literally connect. See, putting the temple on Mount Agung was no accident at all. It's perched almost 1,000 meters up the side of Bali's highest and holiest peak. For the Balinese, mountains are where the gods live, and Mount Agung, that's the most sacred of them all. And the roots of this holy site, man, they run deep. We're talking way before it was a Hindu temple. Over 2,000 years ago, this was a prehistoric place of worship. You can actually still see some of the ancient stone bases today. It wasn't until 1284 that it was officially adopted as a Hindu temple, and by the 15th century, it became the state temple for Bali's most powerful dynasty. What's so amazing is that this spiritual importance is literally built into the very structure of the temple. The physical layout of Pura Besakih isn't just about architecture. It's a spiritual map, you know? It's designed to guide you on this upward journey.
Okay, first thing you gotta understand is that Besakih isn't just one building. Not at all. It's this sprawling complex of 23 separate temples, each with its own purpose, all sitting on these parallel ridges of the Great Mountain. The whole concept here is this idea of a spiritual ascent. The entire complex is laid out in 6 distinct levels, terraced right up the slope. So every staircase you climb, every courtyard you enter, it's all designed with one single purpose, to lead you upward, both physically and spiritually, closer and closer to the gods on that sacred peak. And as you make this climb, you pass through these absolutely incredible gateways. The split gateway, the Kandi Bentar, it marks the entrance to a new, holier level. It's like a physical symbol that you're passing from the everyday world into a much more sacred space. Right at the heart of it all is Pura Agung. This is the big one. It's the largest and most important temple in the whole complex. It's the symbolic center, the ritual focus, where all the most important ceremonies happen. Its lotus throne is considered the spiritual nucleus of all of Bali. You know, building a temple on a volcano means you have an intimate and pretty dangerous relationship with your creator. And back in 1963, that relationship was put to the ultimate test, in a moment that has become a defining part of Besakih's legend. I mean, think about it. The gods live on the mountain. Their temple is on its slopes. But what happens when that sacred mountain wakes up with violent, destructive power? In 1963, Mount Agung erupted, and it was devastating. It killed around 1,700 people. Ash and these terrifying pyroclastic flows just raced down the mountain, wiping out entire villages and turning the landscape into a wasteland. And yet, in what the Balinese people consider a flat-out miracle, the rivers of lava and deadly debris, they parted. They flowed right around Pura Besakih, missing the complex by just a few meters. For them, this was a deliberate act. It was a sign from the gods, showing their immense power, but choosing to spare the very monument built in their honor. So, after surviving that trial by fire, Besakih now finds itself at a totally different kind of crossroads. It's facing challenges born not from nature, but from its own fame in our modern globalized world. I mean, it's no secret the temple is a massive draw for international tourism. Just look at the numbers from 2013. Over 3/4 of its visitors were from other countries. And that brings in welcome money for sure, but also a whole host of really complex problems.
And yeah, this has led to a pretty serious issue. For years, tourists have been reporting problems with illegal fees and frankly extortion. There are official, pretty modest entry fees, But lots of visitors have been pressured into paying way more, sometimes up to $50 for so-called guide services. It's a practice that's really tarnished the temple's sacred reputation.
So you have this clash, right? A sacred space versus mass tourism. It's a tough one to solve, but recent developments show there's a real effort being made to find a path forward that protects the soul of the Mother Temple.
The problem got so big that it actually prompted action from the very top. In March of 2023, the president of Indonesia himself came to Besakih to open new facilities. It was part of a major government project designed to better manage the flow of all these visitors and, most importantly, preserve the sanctity of the site.
And President Widodo's words on that day were crystal clear. He really stressed the need to maintain the temple's purity, its cleanliness, and its sacred aura, recognizing that, without proper management, the sheer number of visitors could just overwhelm the very thing they all came to experience. And so we're left with this absolutely breathtaking view. Pura Besakih today is really two things at once. It's still the undisputed spiritual heart of an entire culture, a place of deep devotion and holiness. And at the same time, it's a bucket list destination for travelers from every corner of the globe. And this all brings us to the final, really crucial question. For Pura Besakih and for so many other sacred sites around the planet, the challenge is just immense. How do you preserve your soul while opening your gates to the world? That is the path the Mother Temple has to navigate right now.